Dudley Dawson joining us, veteran journalist covering Arkansas athletics for over 3 decades now. And Dudley, how are you on this Thursday?
Doing good. Looking forward to a legitimate football game.
A legitimate football game. That's right.
That's a good way to put it, Dudley.
That's the perfect way to put it. So that means that there's nothing to pick apart afterwards other than just a final score, right?
Well, we can try. Don't you think we can trust our eyes after this one? We kind of get a little bit lost watching these first 2 games.
Yeah, I do. I'm not denigrating Arkansas State in any way. I think Butch Jones has done a really good job over there, but it just was not. They were undermanned to play Arkansas last week, and I think these are 2 teams that are coming up this Saturday that are pretty evenly matched. Certainly got mobile quarterbacks. If Austin Simmons is good to go, and I liked what I saw of the running game last week. So. Both of them should be ready to play, and I'm picking Ole Miss because it's at Ole Miss, but if it was here, then I think I'd be picking Arkansas.
How do you think the Hogs are going to handle a little bit of adversity? We have had 0 so far this year, but and I'm not saying we're going to all of a sudden we're going to be down 14 points, but something's going to happen in the game where it's going to kind of change. How do you think the Hogs will respond?
Well, I think that, we're going to find out as we go, but I do think there are enough veterans on this team, even though they may not have been here at Arkansas, that have seen some adversity, have played in games, and have rallied seasons at different spots. What I am interested in is to see, just how the first quarter goes. It has been, Ole Miss has been able to win their 2 games, but they've not been really good at all in the first quarter. Their numbers on offense and defense have been much better from quarters 2 to 4. Arkansas has kind of been the different way. Arkansas has had good starts. So I'm thinking this first quarter is going to be a key in terms of how this football game is going to end up.
Well, and usually these games are close, but in the only 2 games that we haven't seen, I guess in the last, 15 years or so that it really weren't close, you could tell by the time the first quarter was over who the winner was. You remember, the Hogs literally ran all over Ole Miss in the 2022 season, I think it was.
Their only night game. It was cold out there.
Right,
yeah.
And then last year it was ugly quickly, Dudley. So, nobody expects that, but then I'm not sure people expected that last year, the year the Hogs did it to Ole Miss either.
Yeah, and I don't dislike Lane Kiffin as much as some people do. I do think he ran it up last year, but I've always been of the philosophy that you're supposed to stop them from scoring no matter what point it is in the game. So, it's always been an entertaining series, that's for sure, and we've got a lot of great memories from that, and including the Hunter Heave going to the late great Alex Collins, and so I'm looking forward to something I probably haven't seen on Saturday night, because that seems to be in this football game all the time.
So Coach Pittman usually wins 1 road game a year if you just look at his years here. If not here, Dudley, because I think this might be his best chance to win a road game this year. If not here, where do you see Arkansas's road win coming this year?
Well, I would have said Mississippi State, but Jeff Levy and them got up and beat Arizona State last weekend, so maybe cautionary there. But that would have been the one I would have thought going into the year. There's for some reason in the back of my mind, I'm seeing the Arkansas-Missouri game at the end of the year maybe being different. I may be wrong. Certainly wouldn't bet on it. I might bet y'all's houses, but not mine. It's just, sooner or later that's got to flip a little bit, doesn't it?
Well, let's see. So we get Mississippi State, Missouri at home. Here's our road games. At Tennessee, at LSU, at Texas, and at Ole Miss.
All 100,000-seat stadiums except for
easy. There's not one easy win right there.
Yeah, but if my bad for that. But I'll take this one then.
I like
this one.
I'm
not sold on them. So,
who out of the receivers, 17 has really caught my eyes. The kid that transferred from Florida State. I think he's been a couple of different spots. Omega Blake looks big as well. Who's some of the skill position guys? Because Taylor Green, I think, has been the best player on the field the first 2 games, as he should be. Who else has kind of caught your eye a little bit?
Well, I think Mike Washington is ready for a big breakout. This may be his signature game this weekend. They've used him in some situations, but it's my understanding that there are a lot more packages that involve him getting the ball either being handed off to him or out of the backfield. And going back and doing a research on a story for him for the Best of Arkansas Sports, talks to a lot of his high school guys, his college coaches before he got here, and they all think that he's primed and ready to have the big season and maybe have I guess what they would call a contract year. So that's the guy I'm looking forward to having a big game this upcoming night. And also, I like what I saw the tight end last week. He finally got a couple of passes and got into the end zone.
Well, what kind of a run mix do you expect? You know, because
60-40, you think? Or
well, I mean, between the running backs and even Green and even Talon.
Yeah.
Like, you know, I mean, Washington, I'm expecting, 15 to 18
carries? That's,
Talon, and you don't know because there may be pressure and he's forced to run.
Well, you're reading the options sometimes, so you don't know who's going to get it. And the way I kind of look at it now, too, and I know we talk touches. Even if it's a screen game, we haven't seen a screen pass yet. We haven't seen any type of trick play. We haven't seen any type of wheel route that we're going to see in the red zone. I think this is the game you'll see some of that.
I do too, and I do think that Washington's going to get the most touches. I think there are different situations for the other two guys that they can be optimal in. But I think that you're looking even though I think he's got great speed for his size, I think you're looking for tough running inside from Braylon, and then kind of a what do they call it? A change of pace with Rodney Hill.
Well, what about this situation with Austin Simmons? Basically not practicing, from what we're hearing or reading from journalists like yourself, Dudley, that have their contacts within the Ole Miss football program. And the thought is you don't practice at least for the first 3 days, you're probably not going to play. Division II champion Trinidad Chambliss is the backup, and I wonder if the offense changes all that much if depending on who's behind center.
Yeah, I've talked to a lot of Ole Miss people this week trying to get an idea on that, and they're not sure he's going to play. They're going to do everything they can to get him ready to play, but they're not sure about it. It was apparently more of an injury than it appered at the first part there. And yes, they do have an interesting backup. I don't think that the offenses will offense philosophy will change too much, but yeah. I'm interested to see if he shows up. Of course, I'm also interested to see if Luke Haas is going to play.
Yeah.
If Jalen Braxton's going to play. And, Patrick Kudus is going to play. Which all adds, some narratives to this story that, where Arkansas has been kind of a minor league farm team for a few guys for Ole Miss.
Okay, so I want to ask you a couple questions around the SEC. Florida's coach, you look at that schedule, does he make it through the end of this season?
I like Billy Napier, but I don't see it right now.
Yeah.
He's what's going to happen in this 4-game stretch is he's got to go 3-1. I think if he's 2-2, it's not going to get much better the rest of the year. And they're just looking for something down there. They were looking for something last year, and he up and surprised them and came strong at the end of the year. So they had to keep him on. But I think that here's my deal. If you lose early and you're already on the hot seat, now it's an inferno.
I want to ask you also about A&M and Notre Dame. Mike Elko, that defense. You got this is Notre Dame's second game. I wonder if Marcel Reed's healthy. If he is, I like Texas A&M in this one. Maybe a little payback too. Notre Dame got him last year. Any chance? How do you see that game going with A&M and the Fighting Irish?
Yeah, I'm really, really looking forward to that one as well. And goodness gracious, that's a nice little tough beginning for Notre Dame there.
Right.
Kudos to them for playing those teams, and obviously coming here into Arkansas in a couple of weeks. I'm not sold on Notre Dame yet. We'll see. I may regret my words from that, but I just didn't get the warm and fuzzies. 2 weeks ago watching them play, and they've got a lot of great individual players, but they had some NFL guys last year that really got them to the finish line.
I think a game to be really interesting. I mean, anybody's going to want to watch it, but if you're a Razorback fan and you're looking ahead of the Tennessee game, is this Tennessee-Georgia game in Knoxville? And the thought is that Tennessee is better offensively with Joey Aguilar instead of Nico Iamaleava. And, I mean, still Georgia's defense still is really stout, and they play UAB and Mississippi State before they play Arkansas. So I think this will be their toughest test before the Hogs go into Knoxville. So, I mean, there's a lot of other games you'd want to watch this weekend. If you're a Razorback fan, I mean, yeah, Georgia-Tennessee may be right under Arkansas-Ole Miss.
Yeah, Georgia has won 8 games in a row until Tennessee beats them. I think I'm going to pick Georgia in that one, and I do think Joey Aguilar has played really well these first 2 games, and they feel like they've got really good quarterback there. He hadn't been throwing interceptions as he did so often as his other spots, and I do believe that Tennessee got the best out of that quarterback trade there.
Yeah, they did. LSU's the only SEC team right now in the top 5. Who do you see in the SEC? I don't know that it's a down year yet. I think we're just kind of getting going, and it would all sort itself out. Who is LSU? Do you think that is the best team in the SEC? And how would you group it? Who would be second and third?
Boy, that's a tough question. But yeah, I'm going to go with LSU has done what it needed to do. They've won both games. They had an impressive win, obviously, in the opener. Going to be looking at them. The other ones seem to be flawed to me, but Alabama bounced back last week. Ty Simpson had a good game. Georgia, I think, is going to be okay. I'm still on the Georgia bandwagon, I think. The second tier to me, South Carolina, I'm really interested to see, how they play this weekend, because they are potentially a really good team that could really vault up the polls, or they're one injury away from being just an okay team.
Let me just go back to the Arkansas-Ole Miss game to wrap this up here. Based on Taylen Green's stats against winning teams and non-winning teams last year, and from what we've seen these first 2 weeks, how much of what you've seen from Taylen Green do you believe?
I think that he's thrown 2 bad passes, which have turned into interceptions, obviously, but I think for the most part he's making better decisions. Probably the best play I've seen him make all year was getting that first down against Alabama A&M.
Stretching,
and I thought he did it. He did it in a way where he didn't get rocked, but he was able to get the ball to the line. That's what I think he's got to do. He's got to stay away from being injured, even though KJ Jackson looked really good when he's been in.
Yeah, and that's a good thing that you're getting Ole Miss right now, because Taylen's healthy. This team's healthy. I guess it's the Ole Miss team that gave a few more questions about. Seeing Has out there be a little bit of a surprise. There was ankle surgery, I guess, a little more than a month ago, but I don't know. That's not like you're rooting against the kid. That'll be super interesting to see just how involved he might be in their offense if he does play.
Yeah, and he's a good kid, and he did what he thought was best for him. I think that all the heat is landing on Mr. Kudus for the whole story with him saying, "Don't play me so we can save my red shirt," and that worked out well for Ole Miss.
You don't always win your first bet. That's why MyBookie has you covered. Use our code HOGS, HOGS, and your first bet up to $500 is fully covered. If your pick doesn't hit, you get it right back with our Bet Back bonus. Go to mybookie.ag and use the code HOGS to claim your Bet Back bonus. MyBookie's, where bettors win together, because bragging's good, but cashing in is better. And your first bet is fully covered. Use our code HOGS.
Got a little jingle